Hello everyone, it's GFG and I welcome you to this new video. Today we're going to talk about microphones, especially we'll talk about wireless microphones for cameras, for smartphones with adapter, wireless mics like that, or directly with this small cable. Yes, the Saramonic Air, a brand known for those who do a lot of audio and especially for video, and a brand I discovered that instantly became my new favorite brand. Because yes, the Saramonic Air comes in a premium box with two microphones, two lavaliers, so microphones you can attach with a little cable and everything on top, and even a dedicated adapter for the Sony camera. Because seeing products in photos is good, but seeing them in video is better. So unleash yourself and discover everything about your high-tech or smartphone. One of the questions we ask when making videos is, first and foremost, the most important thing is the audio. A low-quality video with good audio, you will watching. An incredible video with disgusting sound, you'll certainly leave. Like when we used to watch those, movies sometimes filmed in a cinema that are awful and all that. So you need a good mic. And if like me, for example, well, you want a wireless mic and you're stuck living next to construction sites, well, then you're happy to have either already a wireless mic and two with noise reduction. Furthermore, the quality with the little, well, there are plenty of things. That is exactly what I needed. We are going to discover right away. Let's start right away with the contents of the box. In the box, we already have our nice case to put everything in with two ultra compact TX transmitters that I'm currently using, an RX receiver with color LCD, 1 inch, quite nice. Mounting clips, well, for the RX adapter to USB Type-C or Lightning, meaning you will be able to connect the receiver to your Android smartphone or on your old iPhone with the old connector, a TRS jack cable to connect to a camera with a jack output, a USB to USB Type-C cable, well, you understand what that's for. Two wind mufflers, two wired lapel microphones with foam cover clip. We'll see what cables, lapel microphones you can connect to your wireless transmitter and all. That's great. A small carrying pouch. So cool. And also ours came with what they call a Sony adapter. My Hot Shoe for direct connection without the jack cable. So this adapter will allow placing above the camera and being able to put your receiver on any camera with a jack plug. But we will have noticed that our adapter obviously integrates the connections dedicated to Sony. And if, like me, you have a Sony camera, you clip it on, bam, it goes up to the receiver. No need to use a jack cable. It's recognized automatically. Yes. Well, it only works for Sony, but well, it's convenient because I have a Sony camera. Let's talk a little about the charging case, how beautiful it is. A metal case, thin, and you can put it directly in your pocket with a small transparent lid to quickly check if you haven't forgotten a mic and especially to see the charge level. An integrated battery of 1300 milliampere hours with a USB Type-C charging port on the side. Storage is optimized for 2 TX. The RX, the clips, the adapters. You can even put the microphones with the windshields. That's so cool. And really, the thing I would have appreciated is the LCD display in the center that shows the battery level, well, of the case. So when you put your microphones inside, well, it charges a little, well, your microphones and your receiver, and you can see what battery you have left. It's simple, but it's so good. So I put the noise cancellation at maximum. We'll talk about it later because there's a guy next to me making noise and there's construction nearby. So if you don't hear it, it means it's incredible, but we'll go test that outside. Let's talk a bit about our TX transmitters, or rather the microphones. So first, they are ultra compact and light. They are so small, so square, and everything is so great. We will have a status LED at the front once again. Here you see I put it, it's green, so it's fine. If it were red, it means I would have accidentally pressed the button and put it in mute function. But well, you'll have gotten the idea. There will be a clip at the back that you can attach to clothes or a magnet, which will allow you to put it directly on any jacket, avoiding faults and all of that. We have an integrated microphone on top. We will talk about it later, and especially an input for a wired lavalier microphone on the side. One of the big strengths, once again, of our receiver and our microphone is the connectivity. Oh no. If, like me, you've always had issues with these jack plugs because of contact problems, then it's easy to remove, and then they tend to move and create interference. Well, you'll appreciate the proprietary connector, which, well, is easy to put in, but then you can pull on it as much as you want. You won't be able to remove it. To remove it, you see, you'll have to shake it a little inside the connector, and then you can unhook. Know that if you want more security, let's say you can wrap the cable twice around of our receiver with the clip at the back, and then, well, no matter how much you pull on it, you won't be able to remove it. And then, well, what I would have liked during my test is that, you see, no matter how much you pull on it, the thing stays. And that's really good, even though it's just clipped in, that it's good. And to unclip it again, you go to your receiver, move the microphone from left to right, and then you'll be able to remove it. It's much more secure and at least there you go, there's contact, or else it's not connected. Yes, because there are controls that connect. So you put your thing in your pocket, you use a wired microphone, and we will see that the wired microphone it's really good. It's not at all like the others. And so, which makes it much better. On the side, there will be a button to turn the microphone on and off, just in case. And once again, if you press once, it will mute the microphone. And if you connect it, for example, to the smartphone version, well, if you double click on it, it starts recording on your smartphone. And when you double click, it stops the recording. This doesn't work with my Sony camera, but it works with smartphones. The Saramonic Air can also be configured through the Saramonic app. I will put the link directly in the description. And above all, we must talk about this dedicated lavalier microphone. So it tells us a capsule of 9.7 millimeters, which allows you to capture clear, natural, rich, and detailed sounds. Perfect, for example, for my vlogs, interviews, and shoots like this on video, which makes the thing quite versatile and especially very high quality. Well, let's talk a little about this microphone. So first, there's a small connector you can put on the side. We'll talk about it later. So the microphone, it's not like other microphones where you have the microphone on top. Here, the microphone is on the side. That means we have a flat microphone once again with the microphone on one side and the flat part on the other. This allows, as seen in videos, you to put it, for example, inside clothing. You know, like they do in movies, they put a little bit of tape for the spy mics and stuff like that. That's what you can't do with your microphone. Otherwise, it will have lots of vibrations and friction. Here, since one side is flat and the microphone is on the other side, you can stick it against your skin, put a little piece of tape like a spy microphone and everything, and the microphone will pick up from the other side. Or you can almost use it like me with the muffler. So what we do is plug it directly here. It's plug and play. And there you understand, hop, the mic is there. It works pretty well. We'll put it directly on the clothing. Bim bada boom, there you go. So I'm leaving the cable on purpose so that you understand you can put it in your pocket and you can put the cable. But here we have the microphone in front and all, no rubbing. And so we have a little lapel mic that's perfect for interviews, allowing you to have something a bit more discreet than that. For those who wouldn't want to have a module, because this you can hide, or there you go, it's too... All right. Well, let's talk a bit about our RX or our receiver. We'll have a 1-inch 0.5 color screen for pretty easy monitoring. Well, the settings are fairly quick. We have noise reduction. Once again, either you don't use it, you use it halfway, or you use it to the maximum. Right now, I'm at the maximum. And we'll go outside later to see a bit the difference. And especially, we will have the gain that is directly adjustable on the device. You press the button, it blinks, you decrease the gain and everything. So that will allow you to raise and lower the microphone gain. Because when we set it to 0, the sound was still too low. So I set it to +6 decibels on microphone 1, and then possibly the second microphone and possibly the receiver. There you go. You can adjust all the gains on it a little. So the ANC gain adjustment. And then we have another button that integrates all the device's menus. If you want to go play around in there, I don't understand anything. So I'm going to leave everything as it is, but you know, you can go fiddle with it. We would have liked on the side, we have a jack output again, which will allow you to plug in headphones. So if you have a cameraman behind the camera, he will hear well because the person filming hears. It will allow to adjust the levels a bit. That's pretty good. We would have liked, well, a camera input. Necessarily, if your camera only has one jack output, like for example, my Sony camera also has a jack, you plug the jack into the output, you go into the thing, and it allows you to put it directly on it. I know that many cameras have a jack output now. It's kind of intended for that. And finally, of course, the adapter that will allow you to connect to any camera via the jack and everything like I used to do before. There you go. And when they sent me that, I said, how did they know I had a Sony camera? There you go. You plug it directly on. The signal goes straight into the camera, recorded on the memory card and everything. It avoids this little cable that is, we still get power with this cable once again, but I prefer not to have it because it also hides the screen. Plus it causes little contact issues and all that. So for me, that's really the ultimate detail where it's the surprise. I'm thinking, oh, so thanks to all these connections, we can either put a small USB Type-C connector at the back to use with an Android phone, great. Or we can use the lightning adapter to connect it to an iPhone, well, from the older generation, right? Or we will have the TRS with a jack plug, or we will use it directly via the Sony adapter. Well, you plug it in, that's really my favorite setup. So then our device, it does a bit of everything. You can use it on a smartphone, a camera, a computer. Well, you can plug it in wherever you want, and you can even record on 2 devices at once. Wow. And finally, they remind us that the RX turns on automatically and that we can start recording directly via the microphone with a smartphone. Let's talk a bit about battery life. They tell us up to 9 hours for the transmitters. Not bad. And up to 6 hours for the receiver with the screen activated. We are told that like on the side of our receiver, there is a USB Type-C port. You can charge it while recording. You have recordings that last a bit long. You only have 6 hours, which is already a lot. Well, so you connect an external battery or a power supply on the side. You can go about your life while recording at the same time. You charge your phone, recharge your camera, recharge your receiver, and everything. Well, let's talk a little about this audio quality. What are its characteristics? We have a built-in limiter up to 116 decibels SPL to avoid distortions, especially for people like me who speak loudly or do Hot Shoe, a safety track at -6 decibels to also correct in post-production. 2-level noise reduction, we'll see light or strong outdoors, a 3-mode equalizer to customize the sound output, and especially, well, once again, a lavalier microphone support to attach a small professional lapel mic for even better sound, and especially for integration.
Might be easier for some setups. All right. First test out, and I'm so far from the camera, I can't even see if I'm in frame or not. So in theory, there you go. You should just see the buildings. So I'm putting you like this. There's no noise reduction, and there is not a lot of noise here. I am a bit disappointed because I stood by the roadside. I am already in something opposite in a governmental building. I wonder if I'm going to end up in
prison, but thanks to electric cars, there's a lot less noise than before. So I wonder if I'm being fooled if I wasn't forced to go to Wanchambé. So here, there's no noise reduction activated. Agreed. Now we will activate with the first mode. It means that, well, there are 3 modes. No, here we're going to set it halfway, and then we'll try to see. So there's a bit of honking, so it's not bad. There is a bit of noise. We can hear the birds a little. Do you hear a difference? And finally, we will have the last mode, which will be with the ENC at the maximum. Well, the furthest NC at the maximum. I hear birds. Can you hear them on the microphone?
Recording the background noise, it's okay. There's a little fountain behind, which I can hear with my own ears. Then we'll see if the microphone does its job, and we managed to reduce the noise a bit.
That was kind of the goal. Let's do the same thing with the lapel microphone once again. I noticed during my first takes that the level was a little bit more high. It must be a little more sensitive, right? So, all right, you don't put the wire like that. Normally you put it in your pocket. There you go, you put your cable, you hide it. Either you put it against your body. There, it's nicely in front. You put your body so you can put it, well, under your clothes, or for example, in a small collar like that. There we don't have noise reduction activated. Okay, so now we are with the first mode activated. Like this, you will be able to hear, is there a difference? So here, it's good. There is a bit of traffic. There are some buses and everything. It seems pretty good. Finally, we have the last mode, because actually, one thing I had forgotten is that we cannot adjust the ANC from here because it's not my role to do it. Normally, you see, you're supposed to have a cameraman with earpieces who can assess whether it is necessary to add of the decibels, if noise has to be removed. So there you go. Again, it's a profession. After all, when you are a vlogger like this, holding it a bit at arm's length, it is good, but it lacks a bit of noise.
Well, and at the same time, what better than King Jamel with, well, the guy there's noise, people are talking. It's still okay. Not too many people yet. It's around noon when I'm going to eat, so there's not too much noise, but there are quite a few. There are horns you'll hear and people talking. There are girls who approach you because they're selling things, and in China, it's not Thailand. They're selling components. They work for brands. It's always like this. It's business, but it's different from another country. So this is the first mode without noise reduction. We'll now try it with the other reduction. I press and see, and bam, there we go. Normally we are with the first noise reduction mode, so it should be maybe a bit better. I still hear the honking, but it's true that it's much better since they are in cars now. They are all on electric scooters. There's the lady selling stuff behind and everything. I think it's the best place to test these noise reduction modes a bit. Noise. And finally the NC reduction mode. Now we're at maximum. We're at level 3. Don't know what it is. I don't know what it will turn out to be, but it's true that it's quite interesting, because the first results I had, as if in an environment there's not too much noise, it wasn't obvious. You could feel something, but it wasn't obvious. Here, there's still a lot more noise. There are more people and everything like that. But there was the little one, she was there. She wanted to sell me something like chips or stuff, processors. And I decided to stay to make a little video interview style. But well, we're not here for that. We're here to test the reduction modes. You'll tell me if you hear the difference. I'm going to remove it, so we'll switch from maximum to nothing, and boom, there you go. So now we're switching from the mode where there was a maximum reduction to where there is no more reduction. You tell me if you hear the difference very well, or very, very, very well, or very, very, very.
So it's after being outside that I really realized the device, but I didn't shoot the entire video outside because there are often some people stop and everything, then there is noise, not noise. So what would I have liked about the product? I set it to ultra compact size. It's a lavalier microphone. I don't know if you remember the ones we had before. I had a big unit with a battery before and everything. So there it is, the lavalier microphone. You put it directly on your mouth and everything. That's quite nice. The ability once again to connect the lavalier microphone to it. Small wired microphone. You can, for example, put it on a belt, put your small wired microphone, integrate it under a shirt or in a pocket or under the clothes, and all James Bond. The receiver that does everything very well. Once again, the receiver is directly either on your camera with a jack. It is at least the bare minimum, but easily with a small clip, if you can put it either on an Android phone or, for example, on an iPhone. Or then you say, like me, you have a Sony camera. You say, my God, they have the right adapter, and that will change my life a little bit because in terms of integration, it's great. I would have also liked the magnets that we can put directly on the clothes. That's quite practical. Or the clip, that's also good. And the possibility for those who have it understood is to be able to directly connect two microphones like this. So there you go. If you can put two tracks, I can do an interview, or you can have one track for you, one safety track. Or for example, for those who ride motorcycles, you can say, there you go. I put a microphone here in my helmet and a microphone that is not near the exhaust on me.
Oh yes, but okay, so you can place it a bit further away, or otherwise you can hold it in your hand, like I've seen many YouTubers do, to have much better sound quality with a much higher level. And with the windscreen, it avoids the popping effect, which I wouldn't have liked on the microphone.
Not much, because it is very versatile. Once again, I might have found the recording level a bit low. It's true that when I look at my VU meter, we're really at the start of the VU meter, even though I'm at 6 decibels. When I put, you see, my voice like this, you can clearly see it goes up a bit, but the level is really at the start, which is not a problem because when I check during editing, the sound is perfect and I don't need to add more, so it's very good. But perhaps it could have been desired that it stood out a bit more. I don't know, maybe it's just me imagining it, and actually that's the way it is. And I don't see why the others would go as high when they didn't need to, or they were poorly adjusted. So who is this lapel microphone a little bit for? Well, a little bit for everyone. I noted for vloggers like me, you go out somewhere, you have your lapel microphone, it's classy. Do an interview, you have your microphone, you hand the microphone to a person so they can speak. They speak into the muff, and it's incredible. Journalists who do reports and need quality sound, photographers and content creators. Your humble servant, of course, audiovisual students who need something a bit versatile for interviews, vlogs, product showcases, vacations, and all that. It's quite decent. And especially, let's say, all the people who are looking for a versatile microphone, quite comfortable, and above all, very complete, easy to use. There are all the possibilities, meaning there isn't something where you say, oh, I can't connect it. You can connect on everything. And there I'm making you remember how much for the microphone in the display case. Come on, if you take the pack with the 2 TX, the RX, and once again without the lav mics as an option, you're going to pay 159 euros including taxes. Yes, with the USB Type-C adapter included. If you want, in addition, the 2 lavalier mics, you're going to pay 179 euros.
Including tax, it costs 20 bucks for the 2 microphones. Get them right away. You'll see it's really handy and a very good investment.
There, in addition, you'll always have the USB type adapter. And with all that, my dear lady, a little promo code of 100% that I'll put directly in the...
In conclusion, it's a bit like the Swiss Army knife of microphones. I love the case. Transparent, really nice. Yet I already like the DJI, but it was really heavy, and that's that here, transparent, the little LCD at the back and everything. There are lots of things that reassure the two little microphones, the adapters, the fact that you can recharge everything and all the little windshields, thinking, yes, but in this setup, I can't. So a little lavalier microphone on top of it on the receiver. I can use it with my phones, my camera, my computer, and my Sony camera in my case. For me, it's really the pack that arrives, and I think, is that it? All that's missing is the light there and the little ooh, oh, oh, oh. And I say to myself, that's exactly it. It's so versatile, so perfect that it's the mic truly dedicated for everyone. It's up to you to tell me in the comments, what do you think about this Saramonic Air? Do you also see it as the ultimate mic? Don't you need all that? But since we all tend to overdo it a bit, we like having it for the day when you need it. You'll be glad to have the thing like that because it's not excessively expensive either. You'll be glad for $269 minus 5% to have all that, and also to say to yourself, oh, there I can put it like this. Oh, there I have 2 microphones. I can put the little cables or a cable here, and no cable there, the receiver. Oh, I can finish with my phone and everything. It's really nice. I went on a shoot where my camera was a bit down because I had more I had battery, but I ran out of memory card. So then I thought I could possibly finish with the phone. I connected directly to my iPhone.
You have a video that is decent, usable, at least you have the same sound, and you finish your shoot. That is really important. Leave me a comment about what you think of this startup. Don't forget to mention Saramonic and not Monique or Sarah Connor. It's not the same thing at all. This way, you participate in the giveaway, whether it's good or not, or if you might prefer another one. Sometimes it motivates other brands to contact us. Since all thumbs are allowed, you can give the video a thumbs up or a thumbs down. It's somewhat you who, you see, don't forget to subscribe over there on my logo and click the bell to receive our notifications. I have a lot of products, as you might have understood. Today, this week, I'm really traveling in mode. We're going to Shenzhen. We're meeting brands. We have appointments. We're visiting factories, and we have other things. There you go.
Lots of amazing products that are coming. And since you like me to be the first to present products like that to you, you say, that's a good find. That's because you are subscribed and don't miss anything. Yes, your mother said you miss one.
So give him reason. Thank you for stopping by. It's a pleasure. Have a good day, everyone. Take care of yourselves. Bye-bye.